Happy Sunday, everybody. This is Scott Grossberg, author of The Most Magical Secret, 4 Weeks to an Ecstatic Life, and I am really excited to be sharing with you today. I'm going to be going through some things that I never thought I'd actually be putting on video for you, but there's been such a great response from all of you to a recent Facebook post that I made that I thought, what the heck, let's just share here. I'm going to be referring today to 2 chapters in the book, chapters 8 and chapter 9. Now, chapter 9 is all about the object of affection, and we've posted, some of you have actually put up photos of your objects of affection. I think they're absolutely marvelous. Chapter 8 is the mantra that I've suggested that you use, the I can, I will, I dare, I am mantra, which is a variation of Helen Willman's I can, I will, I dare, I do suggestion from her 1989 dedication page in The Conquest of Poverty. So take a look at it again. It's chapters 8 and chapter 9 in the book. What are we talking about today? I'm talking about something that will allow you to focus on the magical lifestyle that you've chosen, something that will allow you to focus specifically on what you want to accomplish, something that will continually remind you of what it is you want to accomplish. And very simply, it's this. I call them my togetherness beads. You have seen them as mala beads, you've seen them as rosary beads. I call them togetherness beads because there is no religious affiliation, there's no specific philosophy behind it. It's a lifestyle concept. It's a togetherness bead bracelet because it helps keep me together, and when I see this on somebody else, it's a connectedness that takes place. So I'm calling them togetherness beads. You can refer to them however you want, whatever empowers you, whatever takes you closer to where you want to be. Now, I want to explain how I use these. They are used in the traditional form that malas and rosary beads and prayer beads are used. It's a counting device. It keeps you focused during a specific meditative time period on what you're doing. So for example, with the mantra, and I'll show you again this in a minute, I will go through with each bead and I can say I can, I will, I dare, I am, having first focused on the general principle that I want to accomplish or achieve or manifest. So it's a counting device. The other thing it is a constant reminder. You'll notice that I've got this little tag or tail on the end, and I'm going to explain that to you in a few minutes. As it bounces against my wrist, it's a constant reminder of what I want to achieve, and I'm going to save this for the end to explain to you what it actually says on here. That when it dangles or touches or tickles or prods me, constantly reminded, go right back to what I've chosen to put on the end of this bracelet. There are 21 beads on here, and I'm going to go through and explain what I did to put these together. That's why I called it an arts and craft project. You're going to have to put some of this together yourself, and I really encourage you to build your own togetherness bracelet rather than just buying something. It will mean more to you. You will put more of your passion and energy into it, and you get to choose what goes on this. So the first thing that you're going to need is some elastic thread. Now this happens to be 1 millimeter elastic cord. It's a 5-yard group of it. You cut it to whatever size that you need. And most of this, by the way, I got at a craft store. So again, this is a 1 millimeter elastic cord. This happens to be black. You can use white if you choose. You can use any other color it comes in. I've chosen black. I've chosen specific beads from the Valley of the Temples in Hawaii that I visited, the Buddhist monastery there. And so among other things, I have these wooden beads that are of special meaning to me, and they also tie in with my wedding ring, which is koa wood, and that too has a special meaning, obviously. So I have wooden beads. I've also got a little spacer here. It's sterling silver, and it's got some design work on it that I'm fond of. And then finally, again, from a craft shop, I've got lava beads. And lava has special attributes to it and special meaning for me as well. And so what I've done is I've got what has been called in the mala community a guru bead. It's the head bead here with the little tail. I then have my wood beads. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wood beads, and then 1 lava bead. So I've got a section of 10 individual beads in one half. Then my spacer, and then 1 more lava bead and 9 more wood beads, and then my head bead for a total of 21. Those are strung together, and then I've got my accessories on the end, and I'm going to go ahead and share with you what I've done here. It's a little tag, and on it, let's see if I can get this focused, it says very simply, choose happy. So that's the message that I'm sending to myself every time I touch these, every time I pick them up, every time the end dangles against my wrist. Choose happy. And that you can put whatever you want on the end as the constant reminder for you. And again, you're going to use these by creating in your head what you want. So let's just assume it's happiness. You would take these beads, you can either leave them on your wrist, or I take it off my wrist and hold it much as you would with a prayer bead. You hold it in your hand, you start at the beginning, the head bead, and you just simply say, I can be happy, I will be happy, I dare to be happy, I am happy. You get that in your head, happiness. That happens to be the focus for this example. And then with each bead, as I'm sitting there going through my breathing exercise, and you'll remember from the book, it's hold for 2, and then exhale on 4. I'm doing that with each bead. So I'm sitting there, focus on happiness. First bead, I can, I will, I dare, I am. And I go through each one of those beads repeating that mantra. This is going to force you to focus. You know, all too often we do all these multitasking activities, and the reality is we're being distracted from any one thing in particular. This forces me to focus on one thing, whatever it is that I want. Perhaps it's health. I would start at the guru bead and concentrate on health, what it is I want to manifest, and then it's I can, I will, I dare, I am for every bead thereafter, knowing that my main manifestation goal is health. Perhaps it's abundance for you, perhaps it's love, perhaps it's being loved, perhaps it's giving love. Whatever it is for you, you're going to sit down and force yourself to focus. This is not a race. The idea is not to race through your togetherness beads. The idea is to get yourself into a pace that you can first focus on your goal and then do your breathing and your focus bead by bead. So I can, I will, I dare, I am. However long that takes, you will find a specific time that it takes you to get halfway. Now, once you get to the spacer, you can either then stop, depending on your time constraints, or continue around. There are 21 beads here, and you will find that going through the entire circuit is a specific time segment for you. And you can then determine how many different loops through this, journeys through this togetherness bracelet you actually choose to make. Even if it's one bead, by the way. You have time for one bead. This is a constant reminder for you to stay in touch with what's real, what's necessary, what's passionate, and what's going to move you forward. The design itself, I'll again hold it up to you so you can see, and perhaps I'll post a picture a little bit later so that you can see how this is strung just from a structural standpoint. I actually strung the end of this first and then tied it into a loop, and that's hidden inside the main bead so that you can't see the knot. Then the two strands come off of this one main bead, and let's see if I can find it here. It's actually tied further on down. Here we go. It's tied further on down inside, and then that's hidden inside the loops as well, so that it becomes one consistent piece of empowerment. Now, this is not a piece of costume jewelry. I want you, with your particular object of affection, whatever that might be, to really put your heart and your soul into this. Treat this as if it's gold. Nobody gets to touch this. Nobody gets to play with this. It is treated with respect. It is not worn to impress others. As a matter of fact, during the day, if I'm wearing a suit, this gets tucked up inside my sleeve. I'm not wearing this to impress anything on anybody. This is being worn to impress on me the message of choose happy. Now imagine what your life would be like if you were constantly reminded to choose happiness, or to choose abundance, or to choose love, to choose peace, to choose softness, whatever the message is for you. So this is, I guess, kind of a tease, but I'm encouraging you to go out, start collecting your beads. There are 21 in this particular set because it fits my wrist. If you need it to be a little less so that it fits comfortably, this is how it fits on my wrist right here. Generally, I will turn it so that the spacer bead and the 2 lava beads are on top, and this end is dangling, so it's a constant reminder. Every now and then it will slip around to the top. That's okay. There's no right way or wrong way to wear this. It's wearing it so that you're constantly reminded of your choice to live a magical lifestyle, so that you're constantly reminded of the goals that you want to manifest, so that you're constantly reminded of that one purpose, that oneness that brings us all together. I encourage you to go out, put together some beads, find you want different colors to represent the different aspects of earth, air, fire, and water. Do that. Whatever comes to you. You want seashells. I've noticed some of you are drawn to the ocean. Put seashells on here. Make this your own. This is not for anybody else. This is not to impress anybody. This is not to convert anybody. This is not to get people to suddenly say, hey, what's that? So you start talking to them. It's not a conversation piece. This is something very private for you, and it will then in turn help you manifest what it is that you want. So again, I encourage you, go out, collect your own togetherness bead, post pictures of it so that we can all share in our community. I will take a picture of this so that you can look at it in more detail. It's mine. I'm not asking you to share it with anybody else, obviously. I wouldn't do that if we were out in public talking to each other. This is for us. This is you and me sharing now on a very personal, powerful, and profound level. If you have any questions, let's continue the discussion online. And now, you, me, and our togetherness beads go out and make it a magical week.